Good.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Leverage Podcast. I get to meet with a super awesome business lady. I got to meet her a couple of years ago. She's been a valuable friend and partner of ours. In fact, we've been to Seattle and hung out. We have been to Denver and hung out. Like, this lady has been up on stages for Sphere Rocket. So I'm super excited and stoked to get a chance to meet with the one and only Jenna Evola. Jenna, what's up?
Hey, Mike. Thanks for having me. What an intro. I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, let's let our audience know right off the bat. As they know, we talk a lot about leverage, right? We talk about business. We talk about scaling. I know you got up on stage for us a month or two ago and hit on some of those key points. So I'm really excited to kind of pick your brain a little bit. Instead of the room of 100 hearing it, I want to get several thousand to kind of hear your message and your expertise. So tell everybody a little bit about what you do and how are you making money?
Wow. Thanks, Mike. So I am an agency founder, and my agency is pretty unique in that it focuses on combining or leveraging offshore talent from the Philippines with tech and systems, basically all of the AI platforms, automation, everything that we use to run our various businesses. I take all of that and I help put it all together for a client. I work with a lot of service-based businesses. So think doctors with private medical practices, construction companies, businesses where there are boots on the ground. There's usually a brick and mortar office, but there's also a lot of business done online. And so bringing all of that together for the business owner, the tech, the team, the systems, everything that runs it, it's usually like it's an operational layer that most business owners are missing, that if we can go in and fix it, it makes just such a difference in terms of what we call leverage, but also just money and time back in your pocket at the end of the month, which is something that I know that all business owners that I work with they're searching for that. They didn't start their business to kind of become a slave to it or just be kind of an underpaid employee of their own business at the end of the day. And so I really look to help business owners use available technology, foundational systems to get to that point that we know that they started their business for.
Yeah, it's always been exciting. I know a little bit more about your background, right? And while we don't have the episode time to go through all of that, I know you really can understand and appreciate based on your corporate background and some things that you did in that arena, and just the burnout mentality, right? Of not having the efficiencies or the systems or the processes, right? Leverage, right? So, what is the thing you're focused on growing right now?
Really, what I'm focused on growing is the specialization. Basically, as technology improves, AI is here. We all have new questions about where the humans in our business should be leveraged and how they should be leveraged, and how do they interact with the tools and the systems that we set up for them. And what I am seeing is a trend that I assume maybe others are seeing, which is I don't think the human layer or the human need in business is going away anytime soon. So I'm not talking about cutting people or cutting positions, but I am talking about moving into the new era where tasks and teams look a little bit different. And that means that I believe that the generalist is kind of going away. And so we're going to have smaller, flatter teams utilizing more technology with their unique experience and specialization being utilized all the way, because generalist type things like general admin type things, they can all be handled with AI now. So I'm focusing on finding those specialists those people that really can lean into the technology side of your business, or can really be the specialist in marketing platforms that we're already using. And they can essentially be the operator of the AI systems and automation, using their own brains and experience to help your business actually grow into the future. We need the thinkers now. And so what I'm focusing on is finding the thinkers for these small businesses, because they are out there, but they do require a different mindset. They require more training. I'm offering more specialized training programs for the offshore talent that I ultimately pre-train and recruit and place for other businesses. And I'm just finding things are moving so fast that, the business owner is focused on growing their business. They're focused on doing what they do best, whether it's being the doctor, being the guy up on the roof, that also owns the roofing company, whatever it is. They need these specialists. They actually need people who are not generalists, to come in and give them that extra layer of really things that they can't see, that they don't have time to see, and provide them with the expertise that they need in their business. And so, I think that because of what I believe is happening, I'm focusing on leaning into the future and preparing both my clients and the talent that I place with the clients for what I believe the future looks like. And that's no more generalist work. That's really getting specialized and using the thinking part of your brain, in order
Yeah,
to.
I feel like the generalist now, the generalist concept has moved more into like a prompting concept, to be honest with you. It's like who can do the best, who can come in with a generalist mindset around the best prompting, right? In AI. So it's no longer what do I type into Google? It's, hey, I'm going to tell the AI exactly the inputs and the outputs that I need, such that I can produce that to the leader, right? Or the manager or the boss or whatever the case is. I don't know. I just kind of hit me. I'm like, the generalist now becomes the person who can use AI to the highest ability.
This is true. This is true. And, I know a lot of us are fighting against this. Like, a lot of us don't want this to be true, but it just is. Things are changing, and I think we would do best to educate ourselves on what is changing and what it's going to mean for us, rather than be mad about it or be worried about losing our jobs or anything like that. It's like, if we all get on board with thinking this way, we can all land okay on the other side. And I think that's another thing that I'm feeling really called to like focus on, is preparing people for these changes. They're happening whether we want them to or not. So where do we fit, and what are we doing about it?
Yeah, 100%. And I kind of look up things like, when I look at the history, anything that's new, everybody always leans towards the exaggerated outcome, right? It's like it's going to be the worst case scenario. And it's like the internet came, and I'm old enough to know what was being said then. And those things never really materialized to the doom and gloom. That the 2000, whatever they call that, or the world was going to shut down because the computers couldn't flip times and dates to the year 2000 never happened, right? It's like we're okay. Like I believe it to be okay, right? I think there's only one power above that will determine potentially when society is doomed, and it's probably not technology, right? So,
Yeah, at the end of the day, I share that belief too. Yeah.
What is the one thing you do today that most in your industry are not doing?
Uh, I think that leading your team through the technology changes, like putting on the hat of technology leader, not just business owner, I think is kind of a requirement now. Um, it's a hat that none of us expected to be wearing as business owners, but here we are. uh, so yeah.
Very good. What's the biggest breakthrough that changed the trajectory of your business?
I would I would honestly say it's still the same thing today, which is being open to the idea that people in a foreign country can provide me with all of the business support that I really could have dreamed of, and that there are other people that can actually do things in my business better than me, and that I should maybe just let go of my death grip and hand that off.
That's funny. We always have the 80% is better than not getting done, right? And
Yeah.
so I think I know the answer to this, and it's probably too full, but I'll let you answer it. What gives you the most leverage today? For example, people, AI, marketing, things of that nature.
Yeah, it's still is and always was the operational foundation layer that sits underneath everything else. Strong team, strong culture, everybody who works for me knowing the mission, the direction of what we're all doing here, knowing their place on the boat, essentially. Like if my company is a boat that I am the captain of, um, all of my team members know when to row, who's doing what, and what direction we're going, and they're in support of it. And I think that with all of this technology stuff going on, it's super easy to forget that the people that you employ, the people that carry your mission forward, are always going to be the most crucial thing to your success, to your brand, to everything. And you know, they're they are scared. They're worried about change. You need to reflect back to them that this is this is a positive thing. This is where you fit. This is where we are going as a team together. And I think that has become really the most important thing on my own internal team to focus on, because when I strip out the people, if I lost all of my people today, yeah, I have good foundations. I could rebuild it, but the thing that really keeps the investment that I've already made keep building on itself is really the team culture that I've worked hard to develop. So it's focusing on the humans and leading them on the changes in an appropriate manner. Um, that's the most important thing right now, because everybody's got fear. You do, and so do your employees.
Yeah, absolutely. And how are you helping overcome that fear?
I am doing a lot of things. I am testing different products, platforms, systems, quietly before ever introducing them to my team. And then when I'm prepared, when I know why and what I'm bringing to the table, then I can clearly essentially state the value proposition to them. I can present it to them in a way that it doesn't create fear. It doesn't create a condition where they feel like they're being squeezed out, or they can't see where they fit anymore. Um, just honestly having like a weekly direct communication about all of these changes and how it's inevitable, but that I'm still looking out for them, and that, the mission is not to just create revenue, which obviously every business that has to be one of their missions, because it's not a business if you're not generating revenue. But that, you as the humans in my business that got me to this point, you are still the most important thing, like humans first. And so I think just being approachable and leaving a space to have those conversations so that they don't become like water cooler talk behind your back. Um, you know, just create a space for that. And that will protect you from a lot, is my opinion.
Yeah, I like that. And I think a lot of it is about not BSing, but painting that picture of why it's important to them, right? Because
Yes.
now they become more valuable, in my opinion, because they're doing that next level work, right? Whether that's learning an AI tool and implementing that AI, whether it's interpreting some of the lower level prompting results, right, and things like that. It's like, I could pay you to check my email, or I could pay you to bring me creative ideas and solutions and responses to client engagement or business strategies, right? Which one's more important? They're both important, but probably one is more valuable, right? We're just moving people up that ladder of, hey, maybe I don't need that generalist anymore, but now I can move you into a prompter or an interpreter of the responses. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, one other question, a couple more I got for you. What gives you the least leverage that you think people spend too much time on?
Uh, what's funny about my answer to that is it's one of the same, and it's the same answer, one of the things that gives me the most leverage, which is, to really be on top of what is going on. You really do have to be out there testing a bunch of tools, using AI, learning how it works for you and your business, really understanding what it can do and where it fits in your workflow. I mean, look, are those wasted hours? Sometimes it feels like it because, when you've spent, 50 hours testing out, three different platforms that still don't quite fit your workflow and still don't quite solve the problem that you were looking to solve. Yeah, you know what? That stinks. But so it's the lowest point of leverage that sometimes becomes one of the highest points of leverage because you're learning along the way, you're understanding where things fit and where things don't fit. So it's like, yeah, my answer to to that is um, taking the time to educate myself
Yeah,
so that I can go and educate my team and educate my clients because it's what's required now.
absolutely. All right. What is something you've had to learn the hard way?
Ooh, ooh, hold on. I'm gonna have to. There's so many. Which one do I pick? Um, I mean, one of them definitely was waiting so long to get some help. Like, my gosh, I was so stubborn about it. I still laugh at myself for waiting so long and carrying the beliefs that I held for so long. And so that would be that would be the number one thing. And I giggle because I had such a mindset change after I saw what releasing control and just like letting people help me in my business, how much leverage and like joy that ended up bringing back into my life. Um, I sometimes I giggle a little bit when I see, when I'm staring back at myself, when I'm consulting with a client who is exactly where I was a few years ago. And getting them over that, like, I know your mindset. I know why you believe this. I used to believe this too, but like, let me tell you, this is one of the hardest. I wish somebody would have gotten in my face and made me learn this lesson sooner than I did. So this is me getting in your face and telling you, I already learned this lesson the hard way, like really, really hard. It's one of the number one regrets that I have is like, why didn't I do this sooner? So,
I'm always like,
that's
it's like I'm always like, I could hit you in the head with a baseball bat in 1 year, and you'll be like, you should have done that 1 year earlier.
literally, and it is true for myself. Like, somebody, why didn't you hit me over the head with a baseball bat before? Um,
Yeah, that's awesome. That's funny. What are you paying attention to right now in the market in your business? What trends are you kind of looking at?
I am still looking at the crossover between human teams and the AI layers that are starting to
Mhm.
operationally run a business. And so, I just recently, after much experimenting and a lot of spend on testing out platforms, I recently found one that I've been dreaming of that I'm starting to implement that marries my human team with our actual project management workflow in an interface that actually is easy to use. And there's just, when you start implementing AI in your business and you start expecting your team members to also, implement and train and understand where it fits in the workflow, you start to find that a lot of AI is, it's, you think it's helpful, but it's actually just wasting a lot of time. Right. And then
I
when
think
you actually go in and evaluate it, you're like, oh my gosh.
it's so funny you say that. I hadn't really thought about it. To generate business, whatever it is, you end up losing a lot of time because you get sucked into it, right? And it's almost a little bit, now I'm seeing that with the AI. It's like, okay, all of a sudden I'm getting sucked into, which is not a bad thing, but best recipes that I could take to my sister's house, right? Or whatever. It's like not a bad thing, but it's like, okay, how much time are you spending on looking at best recipes to take to my sister's house?
Yeah, yeah. Or I mean, I know a lot of brilliant people that are like business owners that are like vibe coding something to solve one of
Yeah.
their own problems, right? Because they're looking out in the marketplace and they're like, there isn't an AI tool that does the thing that I need it to do inside of my specific workflow. So maybe I can just go build it myself.
Yep.
And I I love the spirit, and I think that that is amazing for understanding what's under the hood. Like how does this stuff work? But it does end up being a big time waste, a big
Time
time
suck.
suck,
Yeah.
because
I,
most of this stuff never gets shipped. A lot of times there is a big name product with lots of funding that's just nipping at your heels that solves this exact same problem that you just finally solved, and it comes out next week and you're like, what was all of that for? Well, sometimes it just be like that. I guess is what I've been
yeah,
is what
and
I've
I
been
and I, I I think I feel like I see a lot of people that are just also get sucked into the amount of AI, right? It's like, well, hey, I'm going to jump from ChatGPT. Oh, I got Claude now, and I'm not saying any of that's wrong, but it's like, how many tools do you chase at the same time, right? Because there's always going to be a new, bigger, and better. And I'm not saying that's wrong, but how much time are you wasting on, ultimately all the new technology coming out and going in and putting time and energy into it? Yeah, you're going to hit a gold mine with one of them for sure. But it's like, I feel like we're getting, like, especially the visionary type people, like, and the ones that love to explore and learn technology and see the opportunities that are out there. They spend a ton of time in a lot of different tools that you're like, why?
Yes, yes, it's rampant. And like you said, there's no issue with it. It's not a bad thing, but you do kind of have to like pull yourself back for a minute and go, okay, wait a minute. I just got way sucked in. Um, and maybe it's beneficial, maybe it's not, but that's why this might sound boring. This might sound old school. And for as advanced as I am pretty old school. I keep putting people back to like foundations,
Mhm.
culture, like operational structure, like these things never change, even with AI layers on top of them. And look, I'm still beating the go high level drum. Why? It's tried and true. I
Yeah.
I don't need to go build my own thing. There's other platforms coming out that it's like, just wait a little bit longer. All this toiling that you're doing trying to build your own thing, like just hang on a minute. I promise you, there's something else already being generated that doesn't require you to burn the midnight oil for free at 3 a.m. and burn a bunch of credits and like end up shipping nothing. Because there's just so many things. There's compliance, there's data privacy,
Yeah,
there's customer service. There's just, when you have a software that you built and it's meant to be a software as a service, there's just so many things that come with that. I've been running a
for sure.
software as a service company for, almost 5 years now. I implement Go high level. Boring, right? But it's been the same thing for the last 5 years that I've been doing this.
Yep.
All the while I'm building, I'm testing, I'm looking at every other tool out in the market, and I'm going, guys, it's still right here. We're just going to build on top of it, right? Like, um, if you truly endeavor to create your own product, cool. But I just don't think that it is going to turn out to be this like gold rush that people think it's going to be. I think that's what it is. I think everybody's like, ooh, there's a gold rush going on and I need to be a pioneer. And I
Yeah, I
think
almost
there's
feel like it's
different
like
ways.
apps.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's like the apps, right? It's like everybody, when apps were released, everybody wanted to build an app, and then the market got saturated with apps, right? It's like now everybody wants to build not only apps but a lot of other things, and maybe it's the leading edge of that, right? But I look at a lot of those tools as best used for not resale, but for internal support, internal structure, internal systems, internal processes, but not necessarily something I'm going, me personally, not something I'm going to go sell on the market. And
right.
again, not me. I'm going to build that helps support my better business to be better efficient.
Exactly. And
Very good.
it's just a good container is what I tell people. It's a good container
Yeah,
to build anything your systems off of.
100%, 100%. Well, Jenna, I want to respect our time, and I really appreciate you jumping on with me. It's always good to see you. It's been a few months, so I'm looking forward to
Yeah.
having you back into town sometime soon and coming to one of our meetings, and love to get back together. And again, thank you for sharing your wisdom with our audience today. If anybody wanted to get a hold of you, how would they do that?
I'm most active on Instagram. It's just my name, Jenna Evola, Jenna.Evola. But yeah, send me a DM. I'm also launching my own podcast. It'll be on YouTube soon. It's called The Way We Work. So you can find me there. Would love to have more guests over there as well. So yeah, reach out. I love talking to other entrepreneurs.
Let me know. I'm always happy to introduce and connect you with anybody, even though I know you have a rock star crowd and lineup. But if you ever need some folks, just let me know. Happy to send them your way. And they're two smart people together in a room is always awesome to hear. So thank
That
you,
is
Jenna.
true. Thanks, Mike. I'll come
Awesome.
out to
Enjoy the
Dallas soon.
Colorado summers. All right.
Bye.
Bye.